Oh. The motor was just stuck. I had to take this protective case off and spin the motor, but I did resolder that wire because obviously, as you saw, that did come off. Pretty slow still, but it'll get faster. What the hell? Hello everybody, this is Joe being videos on the Jimmy Master Animatronics, and this is a video of the Jimmy Animated Christmas Scooby-Doos. Obviously, we all know that most of us, however, has seen the Jimmy 2000 Toy Fair videos, and obviously these were in it, so these are from the year 2000. These two are obviously both the same years. They have the same songs. They have 3 songs each, and they're the same songs. This one's high pitch, and this one's lower pitch. This one's dressed as Santa, and I assume this one's supposed to be dressed as like an elf, I guess. I don't know. I assume. This one only goes side to side, and this one goes side to side and back and forth. Like, this one's not meant to go back and forth. And I got this one first, and then I got this one. And this one has had a wire, this one didn't last very long when I got it. Like, a wire came off right away. But we did end up fixing it years ago, back in, like, 2006 or something. And, like, if you remember on the old GMA channel, the wire was off. Well, it didn't move again. But I actually have some clips of me fixing it here that are going to be added to the end of this video. But it wasn't really broken. The motor was just stuck. But a wire was off the motor as well after I opened it up. So, yeah. They're also it moves just like the dancing cactuses. However, the design is a bit different though. Like, this one's probably better though, because I don't think these ones strip out, because these are actually belt driven, whereas the cactuses I think are completely gear driven. So they take 3 AA's, and they are sound activated, and they have a button in their hand. And this one has always been like if you remember, like, if you look at the clips at the end before I fix it, like, it's all tangled up. Like, look, you can, like, turn the head and stuff, like, sideways. Like, you can bend the body, you know. The everything on it was crooked. Like, everything was sideways. So it looks much better now. So, yeah. Well, I'll show you this one first. I have to switch out the batteries between the two. So, okay, here's this one. Oh. I didn't notice it didn't go back. You know what's funny? There's actually a split gear in this thing, I think. Watch this. See, there's a split gear. So yeah, I have to replace that split gear. Okay, well, it wasn't that little motor shaft gear right there that was split. It's actually this gear that's split. And you can see a crack, if the camera freaking focuses, right there. These are the kind of gears that you can't buy replacements of. So when these fully split, you're kind of screwed unless you have another item that you can scrap. But even if you scrap another item, it's going to split at some point too. These are not gears that have been refurbished, sadly. So I just added crazy glue to it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then yeah. I'd also like to point out that these mechanisms are one of the biggest pieces of shit. Like, it doesn't matter if they're belt-driven, gear-driven, or what. Any type of these mechanism that goes side to side and back and forth are complete shit. I am having such a difficult time trying to line everything up. And the gears are fine. It's not the gears. It's that piece and those pieces that go in between. I don't know why. It's such a challenge. This thing is really pissing me off. This thing is really pissing me off. Yay! Oh no, it still doesn't go back and forth. The side-to-side movement is even crapping out. Yeah, the gear in there completely split in half. Like, it used to move before the fur was put on. Now it doesn't at all, and it's so loose. Look, that gear completely snapped in half. So I basically wasted 2 hours of my time trying to fix this thing when it wasn't even fixable. Like I said, when those gears break, you can't fix them. The only way is if you have a replacement from another item, which is going to split very shortly anyways. Because even if you take it from another Scooby-Doo, it's still just as old as this one. You know, I try to get this point out to you guys so much, but I think you guys always miss my point. Whether it's used or not. Like, I have never even used this thing. Like, I use this one a lot more than I've used this. Because remember, pretty much the whole time I've had this thing, it's never moved. It's always had wires off. Always. It's really never, ever moved. And look, the gear is still split. And it's even... So, you guys think, well, things only break if you use them a lot. I didn't use this thing a lot, and it broke. So, that if you're trying to tell me that point is invalid, because I've seen it happen so many times. These things do not have to be used for the gears to split. I really wish there was someone that was refurbishing these parts, because like I said, those gears are not ones that you can really find, unlike the motor shaft gears. You know, so we're screwed basically. You know, right now we're just like, oh, you know, it's these Gemmy items. It's just the belt. It's just usually motors, belts, and motor shaft gears that break. You know, the simple stuff, the stuff that's easy to fix. Well, guess what? The older these things get, the other parts are gonna break on them. Like that gear right there. That gear never had problems. Like, no Gemmy item has that kind of problem when they're first new. But the older they get, the more gears that are gonna split. Not just the little motor shaft gears, the big gears too. They'll split over time. They will split. Any gear that has to go tightly on a shaft will split, whether it's big or small. As long as it's a plastic piece on a shaft that's really, really tight, it's gonna split, whether it's used or not. Because that's a lot of stress. And we need to start using, like, someone needs to start refurbishing these parts, because someone needs to grab these parts from an item that isn't split just yet and make millions of these pieces and fucking sell them. See, because if we don't do this very soon, and this, I'm not just talking about these Scooby-Doos. There are many other items, like those square shaft gears that the pop culture have. you think, oh, those aren't going to be a problem. Oh, yes, they will. Within the next 2 years, they're all going to be split too. And square shaft gears are gears that you can't buy either. Those are custom gears that Jimmy uses. So if we don't get these parts refurbished very soon here, we're going to be screwed. There's going to be absolutely nothing we can do at that point. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, yeah, this one is not fixable. It barely even goes side to side anymore. It's getting so bad. I haven't even tested this one yet, so I'm afraid. But anyways, let's just get through this video. We'll play all 3 of its songs, and then we'll do this one. I don't know. Okay, now we'll show the other one. And guys, the last time that this did actually move, which was probably, oh god, I don't even know. Because remember, I did show this in 2015 on the old Jimmy Master Animatronics channel. And it still didn't move on that channel. It was like the motor was froze up. So the last time that one moved was probably 2007 or somewhere along there. That's a long time, and it worked perfectly back then. And it never moved ever since. I never used it again ever since. Whenever that last time it worked. Sorry, guys, just a minute. But yeah, I just got to share that info with you. Like, you know, this one was not used a lot at all. This was one of my least used items that I actually own. I'll be honest with you guys, it really is. I didn't use these very much. These were never a favorite item of mine. So, before you say, well, you must have used it too much, yeah, think again. Okay, here's the other one. Pretty high pitch. And this one, like I said, this one is not made to go back and forth. And the last song. Like I said, I don't test these old items before I even review them, so I have no idea if they're going to work or not. But that's a good thing, though. You guys think, oh man, your videos fail a lot. But you know why? Because that shows how old these things are. Because, you know, if I were to show everything in working order and not test it, you guys would, and test it and fix it before I make videos of it, you guys would assume that this stuff doesn't break very often at all. When clearly, as you can see, this stuff breaks more often than you guys actually think it does. Because like I said, when you leave it alone for years and years, you think it'll last forever. Well, yeah. Again, it's been years since I've used these, and are they working good? Well, this one's still working. This one's never actually broken, but the back and forth mechanism, yeah, it hasn't been used in years. And you again, is it working? No, it's not. So, I'm sorry. I just have to rant about these things because it just seems like nobody is understanding how animated toys actually work. People think that plastic will last forever, even if whether it's brand new in box, whether it's used, whether no. It all came out at the same time. Whether it's new in box or not, it's going to be in the same damn condition, whether it's used or not. um, so yeah, I just and I know probably a lot of people aren't going to watch this. A lot of people aren't going to really watch this video because I don't know. I don't think everyone's interested in these Scooby-Doos. I can I can see why because I'm not that interested either. But I'm just hoping that a lot of people get my point though because people aren't getting the point. They think, oh, I'll just buy another one and it'll work. Yeah, it will work temporarily. So, um, yeah. Anyways, that's it for this video before this gets into further discussion of anything else. So, hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching and bye.